Hi everybody, my name's Enda Wyley. I'm really glad to be here today. I'm just going to read you a few short poems. So the first poem I'm going to read is a poem called Poems for Breakfast, and it was the title poem of one of my collections. And it's really just about waking up here in my house in Dublin and finding poems on the kitchen table. So here we go, Poems for Breakfast. Another morning shaking us. The young potted willow is creased with thirst. The cat is its purring roots. Under our chipped window, the frail orange flowers grow. Now the garden gate clicks, now footsteps on the path. Letters fall like weather reports. Our dog barks, his collar clinks. He scrambles and we follow, stumble over Catullus, Maccuser, ancient Greek for beginners, cold, half-finished mugs of tea, last week's clothes at the bed's edge. Then the old stairs begin to creak. And there are the poems for breakfast, favourites left out on the long glass table. We take turns to place them there, bent open with the pepper pot, marmalade jar, a sugar bowl, the weight of kitchen things. Secret gifts to wake up with, rhythms to last the whole day long, surprises that net the cat, the dog, these days that we wake together in, our door forever opening. I live in Dublin 8 in the centre of the city, and very close to where we live there used to be a notebook shop. So I wrote this poem because I used to love going in there and looking at all the different kinds of paper and notebooks, and I began to imagine what if there was a kind of a revolt from the poems, and the poems that I normally put into notebooks said, no, I don't want to be in these notebooks. So this poem is called Notebook Shop, and it's about poems finding their release in the city, their freedom in the city. Notebook Shop. All the poems we might write gather here in these blank books made from vellum, soft Indian paper, shelved in the corner shop on Francis Street. But then a wind blows the door open, the bell rings, and our thoughts float out and up, past the antique shops, the Tivoli Theatre pounding its heart of rehearsals, Oxfam's sofa graveyard, and the man from the Coombe clattering by with his horse and cart, our unmade poems coming alive, flapping on the seagull's wings, peeping into the cages of Marsh's library, singing with St. Patrick's choir, lying down in St. Werburgh's with Edward Fitzgerald and Major Sir. There is no end to where our poems go, anywhere to be free, not to be trapped in these fine and beautiful books that are hungry for a scribble, a dream, the rush of a word. When my daughter, well, our daughter was very young, I really enjoyed the end of the day when I would be washing her and cleaning her, and all the little histories of her day would seem to fall out of her baby grow and from her folds. And this is a short little poem called Little Heart for Freya. In your folds tonight are strawberries to wash away, some knots of tuna netted there, and up along your neckline, sweet corn beads that make a precious chain. In your head the dog is barking, and the small wall clock is gently ticking, your tongue clicking to its time. Little heart, not yet hurt, beat on. And thank you for listening. I'd just like to finish up with the title poem of my recent collection called The Painter on His Bike. And I'd like to dedicate it to James Hanley, who inspired me to write this. And it's kind of based on a portrait he had done of his recently deceased father. And it's called The Painter on His Bike. The painter on his bike balances his father, sketched in pencil, wrapped in paper on his handlebars. As he cycles down Hastbury Street, the twist of string around the frame loosens for a second, catches in the wheel. the painter's breath caught too by the sudden sight of his dead father's eyes. They saw me before I saw myself. He stops at the curb, tugs at the twine, frees it from the spokes, sets off again, the bike wobbling, bumping over potholes and tramlines, the picture beating against his knee. He is cycling the portrait home, and later a fire lit, the paper unbound. Father, whose eyes rise up from the place your son drew like two dark lost moons. Thank you for listening.